I'm Emily and I'm one of the trustees of The Jump, which you're going to hear about a little bit more later on. As individuals, we can have a direct impact on 27% of the change that needs to happen. But what does that actually mean? What do we as individuals actually have to do? We've broken it down into 6 shifts based on the science. For me, when I first heard about these 6 shifts, I felt relieved. I care about the climate. I want to do something about climate change, but as an individual, I didn't really know where to start or what impact I could have. And the 6 shifts gave me a map to follow. And today I feel really privileged to be able to share that map with you. So what are the 6 shifts? The first shift is to end clutter. Now that's about your electronic devices. It's about any electronics in your home. We need to be keeping those electronics for at least 7 years. That sounds quite long, that sounds quite scary, but actually it's just about repairing things rather than replacing them. The key thing here is to break away from following trends and to only replace your electronics when they're broken beyond repair. The second shift is to travel fresh. Now by that we mean don't have a private vehicle. Obviously that one is really difficult for those of us who are less mobile, and we're only actually asking people to do what they can. But if you are able to, think about whether you can walk, cycle, take public transport, or rent a car instead of buying one. And that includes electric vehicles, because ultimately we just need fewer cars on the road. The third shift is to eat green. This is about following a plant-based diet, or as close to plant-based as you can. It's about eating healthy portions and not wasting food, so eating everything that you buy. This is actually one of the biggest impacts that we can have as individuals, and it represents 9% of that 27% change that we as individuals can have a direct impact on. The fourth shift is to holiday local. The essence of this is that we should be taking a maximum of 1 return short-haul flight every 3 years, or 1 return long-haul flight every 8 years. Now that doesn't mean that you can't go on holiday, but it is about rethinking how we holiday and thinking about the beautiful places that you can discover that are closer to home. Think about where you can get to by train or by bike instead of by flying. The fifth shift is dress retro, only buying a maximum of 3 new items of clothing each year. But it's not about not looking good, like Marvina said earlier, she looks fabulous. So this is all about repairing clothes, it's about buying second-hand clothes, it's about recycling clothes. And there's also amazing visible mending movements happening where people are creating really beautiful, visible repairs to clothes and showing off the fact that actually they're not wearing something new. So those are 5 steps that we can all take that have a direct impact on tackling climate change. And together they make up 27% of the overall change that is needed. The 6th shift is about influencing that remaining 73% of change that governments and businesses need to make. The 6th shift is about changing the system. And we're asking people to take one action to change the system. That might be changing to a green pension. It might be changing to a renewable energy supplier, re-insulating your home, or even writing to your MP. So there you have it, 6 shifts which together make up a map for how we each as individuals can help to tackle climate change. And the final thing that I'll say is that those 6 shifts represent a convergence point for where everybody needs to get to by 2030. So in the West, actually, a lot of this is about reducing our consumption. It's about doing less. But in other parts of the world, some of these things might actually represent an increase. Flying once every 3 years might actually be more than what some people are doing at the moment. But ultimately, this is about what everybody needs to do, how everybody needs to live to be able to protect our beautiful planet.